all, Pete here. Just thought I'd add a bit of commentary to my build, which is a Bloodmage with cast on crit Comet, like most other builds, but also cast on Alley Ailment, Arc, and there's a few things on why I actually think this build's really special. And if you've seen my previous video on the temple sort of demo of the build, you'll know why. So the real magic is happening, I guess, down here with cast on Alley Ailment. And so we've got 2 arc spells in there. Currently, these 2 are level 34. We're running Sione's Temper, which obviously gets it going around, firing additional projectiles and also in a circle. And I've added Fork to this as well. And some people are probably like, well, why Fork? You probably get something else in there, like one of the Ultra Gems and adding some additional sort of skills. But the reason I've done this is on the Megalomaniac diamond that I have split shot, and so that basically says projectiles have 75% chance for an additional projectile when forking. So that's going ham. There's a heck of a lot of projectiles flying around thanks to that Meg, and so that was certainly worth it. I actually had this Megalomaniac for an ice shot Pathfinder, and I was going to sell it, and then I thought, actually, you know what, I could probably put it into this build. And with all natural as well, it's got increased alley damage, 30% and also 5%. So, but that's not the main part of it. Obviously, split shot is what you want if you can afford that. Now, what I've also done since doing the demo of the temple with this particular build is I've also swapped out my rite of passage Spirit of the Cat, and I've added in rite of passage Spirit of the Primate. Now, why would I do that? Probably the big one here is that all my damage from hits will contribute to chill, and chill is obviously an elemental ailment. You probably understand what I'm getting at here. It also comes with 80% increased damage, and yes, I miss out on the cat and the movement speed and the skill speed and also additional crit chance. But I'm getting plenty of crit as it is. I think I'm up to about sort of 70% crit on this Bloodmage. So some people are probably tuned out about now and going, well, I can't afford a lot of this gear. And yes, this is a really expensive build. One of the most expensive builds I've done this league. But look, with the temple, there are divs and mirrors and all sorts flying around, and certainly the economy's gone mental. So if you can craft, you're going to make some serious coin in this league. Granted, we only have sort of 2 weeks left, but just thought I'd demo this build and just show you what it's all about. So do check out the demo of the temple. I'll just quickly show you some of the gear. So obviously dueling wand, there's my cold and lightning with increased spell damage, +4 to all spells, and increased crit hit chance and cast speed. So it's a pretty high end. I've obviously got the chiming staff because we're throwing in the sigil of power as well, just to get more damage. My vertex has got a ton of a spirit, and I guess also level to all spell skills or all skills of +4. Also running at Zeri's Splendor Sacrificial Regalia, getting that really sweet increased max mana, and +1 level to all corrupted skill gems. Also getting max spirit from the amulet and running, as most people do with these types of build, fast metabolism on the allocation. And then I've kind of gone for, I guess, more rarity than mana on this ring, and I'm using a Calandra's Touch to mirror it as well. The Shrine Scepter I was actually using on a Druid, but I've set it up on this because it's got 223 Spirit, and I'll quickly show you some of the Spirit gems I'm using to max out that. All in all, my Spirits, let's see, is 418, so it's an absolute ton of Spirit, and that's not even including all the gems that I slotted in under a level 20 Purity of Lightning. So I'll show you that as well. These boots are ridiculous. They help me obviously cap all my res. I've got a double corrupt Headhunter heavy belt, so with fire and cold res as well, with the 3 charm slots. For my charm slots, I find that the Fall of the Axe Silver Charm is really awesome for onslaught and speed. And then, of course, I'm using a Thawing Charm to grant immunity to freeze and recovering mana when that triggers. Lavianga is running constantly to keep my mana up. And also Olros Resolve Flask for when I guess I need it. That's actually, to be fair, I don't really need it. Gloves are pretty decent as well. 3 slots there, running increased cast speed, life cost efficiency, and also magnitude of non-damaging ailments. A quick look at all the gems. So there's the Purity of Lightning, and of course you can run Clarity, Vitality, Herbalism, Cannibalism, Cool-Headed, and not actually get charged for any increased Spirit reservation, and so that's kind of a free ride. Spell Slinger, I don't actually use. I haven't even got it equipped. There's no need. It does enough damage. Sigil of Power, Arctic Armor as well. When the damage ramps up, you can see with Conflux and that sort of thing, it's ramping up to over 1 mil. These you cast on critical, so Comets are actually falling all the time, especially with Spell Cascade, Energy Retention, and Efficiency. Overwhelming Presence, this is one that's probably overlooked by most builds, and maybe that's because you might not have the Spirit, but if you see there, it makes it easier to inflict elemental ailments, which of course will help you with the cast on Ally ailment. Ally weakness is triggering basically all our damage from crit to elemental ailment. And yeah, there's Adalui's Bloodletting. We're rocking Archmage as well, and cast on, we've already gone through that. Mana Remnants, and of course Elemental Conflux. You might have seen I'm running Uhtred's Augury twice, and you might be going, well, how the hell do you do that? There's actually a, let's see here. It's a unique helm that you can quickly put on. It's the Solus Ips Grand Visage. If you put that on, you can then put additional lineage support gems on your skills, and then you just swap it back out for the Vertex Mask. Lots of people then think that will not work, but it does. So +3. And then there's also Dialer's Desire. So yeah, Ally Conflux is obviously getting an additional lot of skills from those, even though they're grayed out. So definitely use that tech. And then if we jump to here, the other thing I found is I was running corrupted magic jewels, and basically then using an Adorned, and I think my Adorned was like 127 for corrupted magic jewels. A mate from my guild and I jumped on a calculator over the weekend, and we had a look, and we found that it was actually better to run all rare sapphires and not do an adorned, because otherwise you're literally missing out on 2 stats per joule. So yeah, just because a build guide says use an adorned, that doesn't mean you have to. So yeah, definitely don't sleep on those rare jewels, because they might actually be a lot better. Sorry, that's probably a bit of a long one, 10 minutes, and I know there's no sort of demo or gameplay, but please check out my other videos which do showcase this build. I would appreciate a like or subscribe. This is kind of my first foray into YouTubing, and not to POE, but certainly YouTubing, so I just thought I'd give it a crack. Yeah, look, if you've got any questions, please do let me know in the comments. If you've got any suggestions on the build. Yeah, granted, we've only got a couple of weeks left, but yeah, I'm just having a bit of fun to get me through to the next league. And I hope you are doing the same. Cool. Well, peace out, enjoy, and we'll do this again soon. Cheers.